Title: The Iron Legacy of Sergeant John Miller. In the heart of Mississippi, where the fields stretch wide and the sun paints gold across the horizon, there lived a man named Sergeant John Miller. A proud U.S. Army veteran, John wore his age with the same pride he wore his uniform, neatly, sharply, with every wrinkle telling a story of service, sacrifice, and unshakable discipline. John had 5 children, 3 sons and 2 daughters, and a legacy that spanned across 4 generations, with grandkids and great-grandkids filling the family's reunions with life, laughter, and the echoes of his commands. But this was no ordinary family, a home like a barracks. John Miller ran his household with the same precision he once used to lead troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. Wake-up times were early, chores were mandatory, excuses were not tolerated. If you can walk, you can work. If you can speak, you can learn, he'd say, his deep voice laced with the authority of a drill sergeant, but a flicker of warmth in his eyes. His children grew up with structure: morning calisthenics, weekend reading assignments, nightly dinner discussions about values, history, and courage. They didn't just live with John, they were forged by him. He didn't want yes men or pleasers. He wanted strong thinkers, bold doers, and principled leaders. The Steel Rules: John believed in what he called the 3 pillars. 1. Strength of character. Stand for what's right even if you stand alone. 2. Strength of mind. Outthink your opponent before you outfight them. 3. Strength of body. Take care of yourself. A sharp sword is no good if it's dull. These principles were more than rules. They were gospel. He refused to let any of his kids grow up soft, even in a world that changed rapidly around them. When his grandson Marcus once came home crying from being bullied, John didn't coddle him. "Did you fight back?" "I didn't want to hurt him." John nodded slowly. "Good. Restraint is strength. But next time, stand your ground. The world doesn't give out pity medals." Generations of grit, his children became teachers, soldiers, entrepreneurs, and even a state senator. Every one of them, even when they rebelled, eventually found themselves echoing their father's principles in their lives. His grandkids learned to read military history before they knew cartoon names. His great-grandkids could quote Lincoln, King, and Maya Angelou by age 10. But John never let success breed complacency. At every Sunday family gathering, where 36 Millers gathered around his weathered porch, he'd give the talk. You were born into a strong name. You carry it with pride, or you don't carry it at all. This family doesn't whine. We rise. The man behind the medal. Despite his strictness, John had his soft spots. He never missed a birthday. He helped build a wheelchair ramp for a disabled neighbor without being asked.